How's it going, Kate?
Good, thanks.
Are you taking other classes this week or is just this?
No, yeah, it's just this. But the last week I took animation and coding.
Oh, cool.
Or it wasn't called coding, but it was adventuring. Yeah,
Oh, nice. How are those classes?
they were good. Yeah,
Cool.
they were
You're busy
interesting.
then.
Yeah.
Did you want us to talk about your storyboard today?
Sure. Yeah. I also changed just to golf because I think it can show emotion by if you miss a putt or something and you get sad, or if you win a
Right.
tournament. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me put my email on the chat so you can just email me, or actually that's
Okay.
probably, there we go. Paste
Thank
this.
you.
Because the thing was going haywire yesterday, I lost all your emails. So when you get a chance, if you can type in your
Okay.
email one more time.
Yeah.
Well, no, you'll email me, so I'll have your email. So yeah,
All right.
yeah. If you email me, then I'll have your email. So don't worry about it. You don't have to type in the chat.
All right.
Oh shoot, I have to plug my computer in. It's getting low. Okay. 37%. Just let me know when you send it and I'll check the email.
Oh, should I send you what in my email?
Do you want to send me your storyboard
Oh, yes.
so that
Okay.
we can take a look at it together in class?
Yeah.
How's it going, Owen?
Good,
Cool. I like your background.
thanks.
Is it a red fox or what is that?
Red
Panda?
Panda.
Red
One
panda.
sec, let me move out of the way.
It's like your head has become the red panda. Video, the red panda head video. Did you want us to talk about your storyboard, or do you have a storyboard that you want to talk about today?
I think I already have one.
Okay. Well, if you want to get feedback from the class and from me, you should email me at this email address up here, ptamaribucci@athenian.org, and then I can share it on my screen.
Got it.
But you don't have to. It's just a service for you.
Okay.
It's summer.
Do you mean by a storyboard by making showing what view?
Oh no, I'm sorry. My brain. I had the most crazy morning. So we're actually doing storyboards today. Today's story development. Sorry, I jumped one class ahead, my brain.
All right.
Never
I
mind.
was like, was I supposed to do this for homework or
No.
something?
You guys are like, ah, he's crazy, but I'm going to go along with it anyway.
Wait,
Yeah, no,
tomorrow's
we're gonna do storyboards
storyboards
for
or
tomorrow.
today's storyboards?
Yes, today we're doing stories. This morning I was realizing my whole internet was not working because yesterday wasn't working very well, and then I realized, oh my God, I have to get a new internet. So I spent the whole morning doing that. But yeah, no worries. I just, but I would like to have your email addresses again. Sorry, because the last time the whole thing died and then I lost the chat. So if you have a chance, you can type in your email in the chat there. Hi, Evan.
Hi,
How's it going?
good.
So sorry, Owen and Kate. Yeah, thanks, Kate. If Evan, you can just one more time type your email and address, because the thing crashed yesterday and then I lost all those. I'm gonna cut and paste them now, just in case. I had to go to my friend's house for internet today, so hopefully internet will be better. Okay, I'm going to cut and paste your emails. There's Kate's email. And then this is Owen's email. And then I'm pasting it in here. And Eva is not coming today. She had an appointment of some sort. But I think I got her email. There's Evan's email. Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. And then I'm just going to send you a test email and make sure I got it right. Okay, there we go. Welcome back, everybody. So today we are actually just going to talk about your stories. And maybe you're at the point where you're like, I'm not sure, or maybe you started shooting. I'm not sure. Everybody's process is different. I'm just taking you during the standard process, which most filmmakers do, although, you know, everybody's different, right? Sometimes people like to start at the end. But if you want to talk about your story, that's what this first part of class is, and we can kind of explore it, or not the story, but the montage idea that you have.
I got your email.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. Kate, did you? I meant to say, did you have a montage idea that you want to talk about at the beginning of class today?
Yeah, it was about golf.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And I thought that I can try to use emotion, like what if you're starting out and maybe you're not good. I mean, it's not. I'm trying not to make it a story, but maybe like you miss putts and you lose a tournament or something. And I don't know how I can show that. I'll figure it out. And it kind of shows sad, I guess.
Okay.
And then maybe you get better or something, and you make a lot of more putts, and you hit it far or something. And I can try to show it better, I guess.
So you want to show like how it's sort of frustrating at the beginning when you're not quite making it.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of push through that and get to the point where you start getting good.
Yeah.
Cool. And you have a golf club and ball and
Yeah.
hole there. Okay.
I'm currently not in my own house right now. I'm actually in North Carolina
Oh.
for my brother's golf tournaments. So,
Oh, they're having golf tournaments.
yeah.
Pandemic. Okay. Well, I guess if any
Yeah,
sport
golf is
survive,
like the one sport that everybody in my city's doing. It's
Yeah.
like one of the only sports that you can do.
Yeah.
right? Because
That's why I couldn't really do it about the quarantine thing, because it didn't, well, it affected it, but not as much as the other sports. So.
right. Well, I think that's a very clear idea, and you know it well, and you've got all the equipment for it. I think the key will be now just like how to visualize it, and how to shoot it, which we'll talk about today and tomorrow. But yeah, that's good. So I think that's a good structure for sure. Oh, and are you going to be in it, or do you have someone that you could drag in to be the golf person?
I wasn't sure. I was thinking either it shows like neck and below, or I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. I think
I
it's
don't
good
know.
to figure out who is going to be that person. If it's going to be you, and then I mean, we've had people who shot like they're both the actor and the camera person, and they just put the camera, prop it on something, and shoot themselves. So that's doable. But you know, if you have someone around like Cameron, whoever, to help you out, that's great.
I'm
Okay.
lucky. I just do mine with the drone.
Oh, you shoot yourself with a drone? Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
can just shoot in place.
So, Owen, let's talk about your idea. What are you thinking about for your montage?
I'm probably just gonna film like a bunch of trick shots around the yard.
Okay. And are you going to be doing different sports, or what kind of trick shots are we talking about?
All different kinds of sports.
Okay. Can you give some examples?
Golf, basketball, tennis, baseball.
Okay. And so you've got trick shots in mind for each of those?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
even though they're almost impossible.
Okay. So I think the trick for you will be to be able to execute it and film it at the same time, right? I mean, if you have a drone, that gives you a wide shot automatically, right?
Yeah.
Um, we'll talk about wide shots.
And I
Uh,
can edit out like the different like parts of me not even like in the thing.
right, right. And what kind of emotion do you want the audience to feel when they're watching these trick shots? Like, should they feel excitement or like, what do you,
I don't know about that yet.
okay. Um, so yeah, I think today we're talking about shots and different shots and their purposes. And so I think the challenge is like, oh, and do you have someone to help you besides the drone, or are you on your own there?
I probably could loop my parents into it.
Because I think the drone will work, but then for close-up shots, it might be a little bit harder. There are ways of getting around it, or medium shots. So if you have someone to help you, that's always, helpful. Okay, cool. Evan, what are you thinking for your montage?
Um, uh, Probably my dogs.
Oh, right, the dogs. Yes.
Uh, or maybe the most expensive cars I've seen.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Well, your dogs are around, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
there. Cool. And are they very workable? Like, are they good actors?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. Cool. I mean, dogs are pretty good, like, right? Like they're usually, if you know how to work with them. Expensive cars, that's cool too, but do you have access to shoot those, or like how would you pull that
I
off?
already have pictures.
Oh, so you would just be putting them together.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, it's up to you, like what you want to do. I think it might be cool if you did the dog thing because then you can learn how to use the camera techniques like that we'll talk about. So, and you always have the pictures to fall back onto of the cars. So
Yeah.
that's just my recommendation. Okay, cool. Any more questions about your montage ideas or just coming up with? Okay. And again, it's always interesting to think about what emotion you want to feel. Like, Evan, do you want the audience to feel like, oh my gosh, those dogs are adorable? Or do you want like to laugh, a comedy, or like, what do you?
Probably both.
Okay, cool. So as you're doing your shots, you're thinking, what's the most adorable, funny, shots you can get? And then, for Kate, it's like, how do you evoke that emotion of frustration or success? And then Owen, for you, it's sort of like, whatever emotion comes out of it. Maybe it's excitement. I don't know. All right, so let's talk about pre-production, which is just a word for how you plan for your film. Because especially when you're talking about larger films, even smaller films, you want to prepare so that you don't just go out and shoot and then maybe you don't get what you really need. And so you create a storyboard. Sometimes people hand draw. Oh, sorry, can you see this? Last time people were like not looking at anything.
Yes.
You can't. Great. So this is what a storyboard looks like when you use pictures. So storyboard can be do a hand drawn, but in this version, I kind of recommend you do with pictures unless you're really into drawing. I think pictures are a really fast and easy way to kind of figure out how your film will look. And you don't even need the actual people or stuff. You can kind of do a basic like rough draft of what your film will look like. And a lot of people do, like Robert Rodriguez, this big Hollywood director, he does video storyboards where he like shoots it as a rough draft before doing it. So that's what we're talking about. Any questions about storyboards? Have you guys ever used storyboards before? Yeah, Kate, go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen my brother use them, but can we like draw the storyboards? Cause I don't.
Absolutely. Like you can, a lot of people draw the storyboards. I personally am like a terrible drawer. So I like just taking my camera out. And also, I mean, the advantage of drawing a storyboard is it's pretty fast, right? And if you're a good drawer, you can kind of visualize it. But if you're like me, I would just use my phone and just like shoot it. Also, like when you're in the location, right? Like if you're shooting the dogs outside and you're trying to figure out what the image will look like, there's all sorts of information you get just by being in the location that you're going to shoot. You know, what the light's like, what are different, you know, plants or whatever. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to watch a short video from the people at Pixar. Pixar, which did Toy Stories 1, 2, 3, 4, Ratatouille, Coco, Cars 1, 2, 3, all these movies that have become sort of classics. They have this incredible website that gives them information about how to make movies, and their videos are really helpful. So this just gives you a little overview of like, how does like an image help tell a story? Can you see this? I just keep on checking. Can you see the Pixar video?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Hi, I'm Dean Kelly, and I'm a story artist here at Pixar. You know that old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, it's true. Using simple visual cues, you can communicate all kinds of cool ideas and different emotions. And because of this, a single image can tell a whole story. Let's make this scene a simple drawing, like the storyboards we create at Pixar. The first thing you'll notice is that the bigger something is in the frame, the more important it is. I'm clearly the most important thing in this frame. Choosing to put a character in a large space where they appear small is one way to communicate how vulnerable they are, or how big their world is. A low angle can make me seem commanding, or menacing. I now seem a little unbalanced. Everything you see on screen is a choice, and all of it can help you tell stories. This is development art from Ratatouille. This single image clearly illustrates how important shape and framing are to storytelling. The artist who drew this chose everything in the frame, including the framing. Look at Remy. He's a tiny rat, but in this frame and from this perspective, he's the same size as the chefs. See how he's separated from the kitchen with these panes? He is literally being kept from his dreams of being a chef with these horizontal and vertical lines boxing him in. But Remy seems equal to the chefs, which is an important story point. Shape also helps us tell stories. Take these three main characters from Monsters University. The artists who designed Mike, Sully, and Hardscrabble chose shapes that amplified and reflected their character. Mike is essentially a ball. He's just not threatening or scary. Sully's a big rectangle. He's sturdy and he's tough to move. You believe he can be a scare. Hardscrabble's a bunch of triangles. She's pointy and threatening. It helps her to be intimidating in the film. As a visual storyteller, you have a chance to guide your viewers in all sorts of ways. Color can guide the eye. Value, or how dark or light something is, can make it stand out from everything else in an image. In the movies, size and position in the frame also matter. They have an effect on how we feel about a character or a moment. In the incredible script, this scene was just two people arguing, but the story artist used Helen's stretching abilities, and Helen becomes the powerful one in this moment, just by being larger than Bob, by stretching. But usually an artist will make a character closer and bigger in frame. In this storyboard I drew from Monsters University, you can see how I made Mike dominate the frame by putting him in the foreground, close to camera. Mike is coming into his own as a scare coach, and I made him the biggest thing in frame because he's the strongest character in this moment, stronger than Sully. We can communicate so many things using only visual language. In these next lessons, you get to explore these ideas and use them to help tell your own stories.
Cool. So it's just an overview, just sort of getting your brain starting to think about how images create ideas and emotions. Now we're going to get into the practical, like how to use specific shots to do certain things. So this video is going to go over the different shots that we have, and then we'll practice it today so that you can use the different shots for your film.
In the previous exercise, you broke down parts of your story into a series of minor beats and shots. Next, you need to think about framing and staging. The setting or environment for each scene acts as a stage, and where you place your characters and camera within this space is called staging. Over the years, a number of different shot types have been introduced into film grammar to help the audience understand a story. For example, if the story calls for a new setting or environment to be introduced, it is common to start with a wide shot. Wide shots are staged by placing the camera far away from your characters to give a broad perspective and understanding of a new location. Wide shots used in this way are also called establishing shots. Establishing shots are often followed by a medium shot, like this one. Medium shots are personal, close enough to establish emotion and conversation, like if you were talking to a friend. When you need to punctuate an emotional moment or story point, close-up shots like this one can be very effective. These three shot types, wide, medium, and close-up, are the most commonly used kinds of shots. It's important to remember that when making your shot choices, you need to keep asking yourself two basic questions. What do you want the audience to know? What do you want them to feel? Now let's hear from our artists how they use these ideas.
So you've got wide shots and medium shots and close-ups, and one of the tricks is to figure out how and when to use all of those shots within a scene. If you shot a whole scene in close-ups, then everything would have kind of equal weight. Whereas if you're shooting a scene using medium shots of people having a conversation, and then somebody drops a bombshell in the scene and you go into a big close-up at that moment that they're making that big reveal or telling that secret, then just visually that moment's going to have a lot more weight than if you'd been shooting the entire scene in close-ups the whole time.
Every shot gives you new information that the other shot could not. One way of arranging shots, or thinking of arranging shots, is going from a wide to a medium to a close-up. But that's not the only way. Sometimes, for instance in cars, you can start with an extreme close-up and then go to a wide. It's just important to set up your shots so it's clear on what the audience needs to know and feel. Once I decide on that, I have to start figuring out what the audience needs to see in order to know that.
If you take Muntz's lair, for example, in Up, we start kind of medium shotty at the beginning of the scene when Carl and Russell are being led up to Muntz's lair, but then when we see Muntz's lair, it's a wide shot. We see this gigantic cave, and when we go into the cave, we see this gigantic space inside the cave. With the wide shot, you get to see how many dogs this crazy man has, too. Once we get into the dining table, it's a little closer and a little more intimate. So then as the scene goes on, and it's clear to Carl that Muntz is a little crazy and this is a dangerous situation, there is a close-up on Carl that is great for getting the audience to feel what Carl's feeling.
So once you've chosen what kind of shot you want to use, you need to decide how the image will be composed within the frame. In film, the edges of the screen define a box or a frame within which your shot is viewed. You can use what you learned in the visual language lesson to help design the visual composition within the frame based on what you want the audience to know and what you want them to feel. Framing your story points with clarity is essential. If the audience doesn't clearly understand the idea you're trying to communicate, nothing else matters. They'll be lost. When it comes time to deciding where in the frame your main subject should appear, the simplest thing to do is put them right in the middle, like this. Center framing generally offers a feeling of stability or neutrality. Another common framing choice is called the rule of thirds. Imagine breaking your frame into equal thirds like this. Then you frame the shot so that your subject is at one of the four intersection points. Using the rule of thirds is a common practice for creating more interesting and natural compositions. Use the next exercise to become more familiar with the basic shot types and framing.
Okay, so any questions so far? There's sort of like 5 main things you should know. The wide shot, I'll show you on the screen. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. The first thing is the wide shot. So here's something from a James Bond film, Wide Shot. We get to see the entire environment. You see that there's a car here, James Bond's going in there. Medium shot, usually defined by the waist to the head, some space over the head. This is from Hunger Games. Close up, usually the head, maybe a little bit of shoulders. And then how you frame the shot. So this is from Moonrise Kingdom. The girl's dead center. And this guy who does this film, Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson, the director, he loves center shots. Like he does these center shots constantly. From the Joker, rule of thirds. You see the Joker here is on the third of the screen. If you put him dead center, it would feel really different, right? Or you put him here, But these points, these 4 points, are kind of usually key points in your framing. So we're going to look at some shots from the montages we've seen already and just talk about what we're looking at here. So this first shot, what kind of shot is this? This is
Wide.
a close up. I heard wide. Sorry.
Wide.
Oh, cool. Yes, it is wide. So what is like the emotion? I mean, clearly it's a guy running, right? In the whatever this is, the parking lot or something. What's the emotion you feel when you look at this guy running in this area? Any feeling again? I would say it feels kind of big, right? Like this area looks really expansive and this train is going out here. The sun is coming in. So there's a kind of like big, epic or excitement I think they're trying to get here.
It looks like San Francisco.
Yeah, well, this bridge, right?
It looks like New York.
Yeah.
And the car could be like one of those like airBart cars or something.
Yeah. Well, you know, lots of urban centers, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco have these kind of open air train things. Okay, let's look at this one. Is this wide, medium, or close up?
Medium.
You know, it is not that wide. It's not like super wide, but it's still wide, I would say.
Oh.
If you're going medium, it would probably be around his waist to his head. Like it'd be like this. But wide is showing you his whole body plus everything around him. Okay, so here's the next question. Is it using rule of thirds or is it center framing?
Center frame.
Center framing, right. So why do you think, and they chose to film it like this. They chose to do wide and center frame. What are you getting, why do you think they made that choice?
Maybe to show all the he's run far away, or like I don't know. There's like
show the area around him, you mean? Or,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is his neighborhood, right? It's like, it's a pretty tough neighborhood. Like these boxes and trash and like fire going on. So that's part of it, yeah. By putting him in the center of frame, what kind of feeling does it give you by putting him like dead center like that?
Important.
Yeah, definitely. A sense of power, importance. He's like training to be a super boxer in this movie. So putting him in the center is going to give that feeling. Okay, so is this wide, medium, or close up?
Close up.
It's medium.
Yeah.
If it was close up, it'd be probably around here, like basically his head and his chin to his chin.
Oh.
But we get his chest to head and usually a little bit of space. So that would be a medium shot. And so, you know, this is the same thing, right? This is almost like the same moment, but it's wide, medium. So they cut from the wide to the medium. What do you get from the medium shot? Like what is happening here that you don't get in the wide? What kind of information you're getting here? You're getting this guy, right? You're getting his face, his expressions, like he's sweating or he looks excited. Actually, it's hard to tell because he's so blurry. But yeah, the medium shot is used a lot because it gives you the face, but it also gives you the environment. So he's looking around, he's seeing his neighborhood. Okay, so this is a wide, medium, wide, yes. I don't know what this is over here, but, and they're using center framing or rule of thirds?
Rule of thirds.
Rule of thirds, right? Look at his body. He's like, I mean, not exactly. It might be more in the quarter. Whoops. So yeah. And then this is a medium or wide or close up?
Medium.
Medium, yes. And this is close up, medium or wide?
Close up.
Close up, right. So why do you
What
think
the heck are the things in front of him?
this here? He's punching one of those bags that kind of like, you know, they hang on the.
It looks like he's juggling for some reason.
It's like a blur. So, but in the trailer, he's like hitting the punching bag really fast. So why do you think, I mean, they could have done this in a medium shot, but they chose close up. What do you think you get by getting that close? Any emotion or any like story reason you think? Well, I would say the reason they do that is to build intensity. You know, like we start wide and then we go medium and we close up. And as he's getting more intense, like the camera is getting closer and closer. Also, in the close up, you get the eyes. Like in the medium, you get the eyes too, but not like you can see the eyes and like what he's feeling in the eyes. They say eyes are the window of the soul. That's pretty true. And like you can tell someone's eyes, like if they're sad or they're happy. This is a tricky one. Like, is this a wide or is it a medium? It's actually a trick question, so don't worry about getting wrong.
Medium?
Wide.
Kind of both. You're both right. Because it's medium because it's kind of like their waist to the head, but then it's kind of wide because you can see like all of Rocky and here. And one thing, and this is interesting for the trick shot movie that you're working on, Owen, that they do a lot of wide mediums because they want to show him doing the work. Like you could do this and fake it, right? Like you do a close up of his face and then you could do a close up of his arm, but it's really not, you know, the actor's arm. And so you're like, oh, he's working out, but he's really just, you know, a body double. But they do this a lot in these action films. Like Tom Cruise is famous for this. Like when he does his stunts when he's hanging off the tallest building in the world, it really is him. And then they want to do a wide shot to show that it's not some other guy. This is a wide, medium, or close up?
Medium.
Medium.
Medium. This would be a, this is kind of a,
Close up.
yeah, it's a close up. Yeah. It's kind of a, you know, medium close up because it's not really in his face, but yeah. This would be a
Medium.
medium. Yeah.
Medium.
And this is definitely a
Wide.
right. Notice that like this shot, he was running all the way across. Like, I don't know if you remember the shot. And again, in sports movies, they like to do the wide shot because you can see how far that he's really running fast. Like it's hard to tell when you're in a close up or medium, like how fast he's going. But when you get the wide, you can get the sense of speed. And then this is
Wide.
wide, yeah. And I mean, this is a really standard, like at the end of the montage, you end with a wide to show, you know, this is a very victory dance, right? With the beautiful sky and the city of Philadelphia. Okay, I think you guys got it.
I found the problem with that last shot.
You found a problem with this last shot?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
He's at there, but isn't he going to have to run all the way back home?
Oh yeah.
Not in the movies. Cut to home. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I just want to show you some of the composition in the other film, The Poetry of Details. One thing you notice in the montage is that they use a lot of variety in terms of close-up, medium, and wide. So, you know, at the beginning, they start with this sort of wide, but it's also kind of a close-up because you get this plant there. And then they do close-ups. They do some abstract shots, which, I mean, I don't know if you could call this a close-up or not, but it looks like it. And then they'll just focus on someone's neck, eyes, and then this is a medium, right? And then they'll do a wide, and then really close-up. Well, this is what we call extreme close-up, which we'll talk about next week. But if you really want to get intense, you know, when you get into someone's eye, you can get really like, or here, the audience really feels it intensely, right? Okay, any questions about medium, close-up, wide, or framing? We pretty clear? Okay, so what I want you to do is take your phone and do this really quick assignment. Like this is just to get used to thinking in terms of wide, medium, close-ups, and framing. I want you to take 5 pictures, okay? So one picture will be a wide. It could just be like a wide of your room that you're in now, or you can go outside and wide of your backyard or whatever. A medium, so finding a person, could be you, or it could be even a doll. Like you can get a doll in a medium shot, and then a close up. So like just the face. It could be your face. It could be someone's face there. It could be a dog's face. You know, dogs are fine too. And then also experiment with like putting things dead center. You know, like shooting with like right now we're all center framed, right? Like we're all four of us center framed. But then if it move here, now I'm rule thirds. So just like take one center framed and then one rule thirds.
I'm using rule of quarters.
I mean, it's fine. The rule of thirds is not like science. Like if you can use the rule of quarters, I think quarters gets a little bit like, this is like, I'm on a quarter, right? So there is a show called Mr. Robot that they frame actors like way on the side and it looks odd. And that's the point. Like they want it to look odd. And I'll leave it up on the screen so that you're reminded of the different shots. Let's see. Yeah. And then do you think, how much time do you think you'll need to do this? Like maybe 10 minutes? Do you think you could do it in about 10?
Probably, maybe less.
So let's set the timer to 10 minutes. And then if you need more time, just tell me you need more time, okay? So just go ahead and shoot 5 pictures and I'll put it on the screen, the 5 different shots. All right, here we go. 10 minutes and go make some pictures. Why is this not?
Wait,
Yeah.
you give me a second?
Yeah, no worries. If you need more time, no worries. I'm trying to get my screen to share all of this, but well.
Done.
Oh wow, that was fast. You did 5 shots in less than 5 minutes.
I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Cool. Do you want to email them to me? My email.
Can you see them here?
Oh,
Or
okay.
do they? Yeah, they look worse.
Here, why don't
I can email them.
you can hold it up to the screen. Let me see if I can see it. Try it again.
Wait,
There we go. Okay, so that's like
I got the center shot.
yeah. Oh, center shot, close up. Yeah.
Um. A random shot. Gotta.
I can't see the back because it's dark. Oh, is there background of some sort? There's like plants. I would say that's a wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a really wide one. You can't really tell. I'll just email them to you. What's your
And one
email?
thing I noticed, just before I forget, that last shot, you're doing it what we call profile. You know, like you're shooting this way.
Okay.
And I kind of recommend that you shoot this way, so that your shots. You did that with the other two shots, though.
Yeah. Is your case black
My case.
on your phone?
Yeah. What color is your case?
Also black?
Oh, good choice. Oh yeah, I emailed you, so you can just email me back.
Okay.
Okay, let me check. God, my friend's Wi-Fi is so much better than mine at home. So what are your dogs? You're doing the dogs, right? What are your dogs' names?
Kevin and Elmer.
Evan and Elmer. So one of the dogs
No,
is
Kevin and Elmer.
oh Kevin. Cool. And are they brothers or
Yeah, no.
they are brothers?
No.
Oh, they aren't. Okay. But have they always lived together, or you got
Yeah.
one? Okay. So they're close. Nice. How'd it go, Kate?
Good.
I mean,
I
you
think-
can hold it up to the screen if you want me to just show it to me, or you can.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Here's my close up.
Okay, yeah, of like a moose kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my wide shot.
Cool. Backyard.
Here's a medium shot of my mom.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. One thing, just beware. You have a little bit of there's a fair
Busy
amount,
background.
or just a space over a head is kind
Uh-huh.
of a lot. So typically,
Okay.
like if you look at my screen, usually it's
Uh-huh.
like about that much space.
Okay.
And the head's down this way. It looks a little weird, right? It looks like
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Okay. Well, I'll take another one, but here's my middle
Oh, center framing.
middle, yeah.
Cool. And then just to be aware that you're shooting it profile, right? Like the phone is this way, which is, I mean, it's not good or bad, but
Yeah.
typically when we're doing movies, we're always holding
Okay.
this.
Okay. Here's my rural thirds.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the plant or flowers and the third. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is also kind of a rural thirds that oh, whoops, I accidentally took this also profile.
Right.
Wait, one
The
sec.
profile is very long, right? So it's hard to do
Yeah.
the words.
Oh, wait, no, I took it wide. It just, oh, there we go.
Oh, weird. It's
Oh,
kind
I don't know. Okay, whatever.
cool. It's exercise. I mean, I'm just getting your brains to think in that way, right? Just to
Yeah.
So whenever you're shooting, because the more you do it, it's like you're riding a bicycle. It takes you a while to get the pedals, whatever, and then you just like your brain just starts working that way.
Should I take another medium Or
Yeah, if
meeting
you want
chart?
to. Owen's still. We probably have
Okay.
another minute. How much? My timer's. Let me check my timer. We got a minute and 19 seconds. So you can just chill or take another picture. Owen, are you there? Still gone. Okay. Let's see. Oh, who's our one-on-one?
I don't know if this is any better.
Give me 1 second. I'm just checking one thing out.
Okay.
Oh, so Owen and Kate, I'm going to meet with you guys individually after this. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Here's the other.
Oh yeah, that's a close-up. That's definitely a close-up.
Okay.
Cool. How'd it go, Owen? Do you want to just email me the pictures, or do you want to just show me on the?
I have to email you mine because they're on an SD card
Oh, I see. Using a.
instead of on the phone.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, and again, these are just for your exercise, just to get your brain to thinking in terms of shots. Since we have a little extra time, I just stumbled on this other video. So I've shown you 3 major shots, but in reality, there's a lot more. And so I figure I might as well show this to you guys, because even though you're just starting out, it's helpful to know that there's a lot of different shots out there, and you can really do a lot just through different ways of framing your subjects. So we're gonna just watch a short video, and then we'll do individual meetings. And any questions you have, of course. Oh, and let's talk about your homework for tomorrow. Actually, I don't want to call it homework. I'll call it something else.
Films are made up of sequences. Sequences are made up of scenes. And scenes are made up of shots. But we must understand the characteristics and storytelling value of each shot.
Don't be a...
In this video, we'll begin with the big picture and work our way down. We're going to define the essential shot sizes in a filmmaker's toolbox and how to use the right shot at the right time to create memorable moments on screen. This is episode 1 of The Shot List. Shot size. Shot choices help establish the rhythm, tone, and meaning of a scene. Knowing which shot will be the most aesthetically and dramatically valuable for a given scene should be the highest priority for both a director and a DP. In this video, we'll be examining essential shot sizes. As we go, we'll populate a shot list in Studio Binder as a sort of cheat sheet the next time you need to create one. Now, let's get to the shots. The most common visual element to open a scene or even an entire film is the establishing shot. It is typically wide enough to establish the geography, time of day, show the scale of subjects in relation to their environment, and is often used to transition between scenes. With genres like science fiction, where entirely new worlds need to be introduced, the establishing shot is crucial. Blade Runner 2049 opens with a series of establishing shots. we get the first impressions of near-future Earth with industrial and futuristic farms outside the city. So remember, an establishing shot is a crucial introductory component of any scene. It can mark a transition to a new location, or introduce crucial details about the location or world. The establishing shot is often followed up with a master shot, or simply the master. Like the establishing shot, a master shot confirms the location and geography of the scene. It also clarifies which characters are in the scene and where they are in relationship to each other.
Go on, sit down. Go ahead. Talk to each other. Sit down. Hey, Mr. Einstein.
Here we see a master from The Godfather Part 2 framing the Corleone family around a dinner table.
Hey, Sally, get in here.
The majority of this scene is played in the master to emphasize the family's close-knit relationship.
Your country ain't your blood, you remember that.
I don't feel that way.
Until Michael drops some devastating news.
Well, if you don't feel like that, why don't you just quit college and go to join the army?
I did. I enlisted in the Marines.
Mike, why didn't you come to us?
What do you mean?
I mean, Pop had to pull a lot of strings to get your deferment.
I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for a deferment. I didn't want it.
What's wrong? Come on, knock it off. Come on.
But it also helps make Michael split from the family visual from this to this.
Stupid.
And we feel the emptiness around him that much more. Remember, the master captures the scene playing out in its entirety, providing the editor with something to cut out to, if necessary. Moving on. Wide shot, WS.
Let me tell you about my boat.
The wide shot positions subjects far from the camera to visually represent their relationship to their environment. This is distinct from the establishing shot, which is about location. The wide shot is principally concerned with the scale of the subject.
I'm finished.
It can be used when you need to make subjects appear lost, lonely, or overwhelmed, or comment on a subject's relationship to their environment. In this wide shot from Phantom Thread, we can see the characters Alma and Reynolds dwarfed by a messy ballroom. Paul Thomas Anderson could have ended the scene with close-ups to capture the characters' emotions. But by ending with a wide shot here, we can consider Alma and Reynolds together, yet isolated from the world around them. Use it when you need to establish the spatial relationships of the subjects. Make statements using distance, depth, or size. Our next subject, full shot. When a subject's entire body reaches from the top to the bottom edges of the frame, the shot is defined as full. With a full shot, it's not necessary to put the subject in the center of the frame, but notice how often this is the case. This example is effective because it is tight enough to tell a story with the character's face, but wide enough to further the story by observing her entire body, posture, and wardrobe. So remember, a full is composed head to toe, and you can use them when you need to make statements about a subject's physicality and present a character in all their glory. Moving on. Medium full shot, cowboy. The medium full shot is arranged from the top of the subject's head to just below their waist. It is sometimes referred to as a cowboy shot based on the height of gun holsters. Here we can see complementary angles from The Favorite, composed in medium fulls. The cowboy angle on the character Lady Sarah is particularly strong and confrontational. This isn't a Western and features no holsters, but it's hard not to think of cowboys when firearms are deployed like this. Use it when you need to present a subject as confident, dangerous, or confrontational. especially when weapons might be drawn. Moving on. Medium shot, MS. Perhaps the most popular shot size in all of cinema is the medium shot. But why? Because it's more of a neutral shot, neither dramatic like a close-up or distancing like a wide shot. It captures the subject in a size similar to how we interact with people.
Would you hold still?
The typical composition of a medium shot starts above the waist but below the chest and ends just above the head. Shot sizes deployed in animated films function under the same compositional rules.
Oh!
Hello.
Let's look at an example to better illustrate this. In this scene from Coco, Miguel watches a film starring his idol. The medium shot composition accommodates quite a bit. The props from Miguel's shrine, the detail on the TV screen, and Miguel's reactions to it. It's an intimate moment as we observe Miguel's joy, along with the objects of his affection in a single frame.
Follow my heart. You know that feeling like this?
So remember, the typical composition of a medium shot starts above the waist, but below the chest, and ends just above the head. Use it when you need to dig into a subject's eyes without losing their physicality or environment, or utilize a true middle ground approach that is neither jarring nor especially dramatic. Our next subject, medium close-up shot, MCU. When a shot frames a subject from mid-chest to just above their head, it is referred to as a medium close-up. Medium close-ups are about reducing distraction and prioritizing story and character details.
Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
Use it when you need to get intimate with a subject without losing their physicality.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Here, the villainous Thanos snaps his fingers during the climactic moments of Avengers Endgame. With this shot size, we have room for the Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos' look of cruel satisfaction in thinking he has won. But when he fails, this medium close-up is designed to also capture his reaction. Remember, a medium close-up is roughly head to chest. Are you ready for it? It's the close-up. See you.
Here's Johnny!
Of course, the most powerful visual weapon for highlighting a change in emotion or dramatic beat on screen. Close-ups are most often arranged at eye level, better to dig into the windows of a soul. In this shot size, we have a front row seat for a character's thoughts and feelings.
Who is it?
Will you help me?
Yes, anything.
The close-up is about empathy and illustrates how dramatically effective it can be in a time of decision or anxiety. Our final category, extreme close-up shot, ECU. An extreme close-up, or ECU, frames a subject to isolate a specific area. This could be lips, ears, or nose, but the eyes are typically the focus. Like here in Kill Bill Volume 1. As the bride is swarmed by the crazy 88, we cut back and forth between their entry points and her frantic eyes. But when the function of a specific prop or an intimate detail is necessary, filmmakers will often rely on the insert shot. Inserts are most commonly used to highlight and isolate something crucial to the narrative. So remember, an extreme close-up or an insert shot is one of the greatest tools for emphasis. It is the most intimate, dramatic, and potentially startling of all shot sizes. So, this is our shot list made in Studio Binder so far. It has all of the most common shot sizes you can reference the next time you need to create a shot list. You can find a link to the full shot list in the description. If you're looking for shot listing software to automate the process, check the description for a link to Studio Binder. It's free to get started. In the next episode of this series,
So I just thought that was useful to kind of get you thinking that there's a huge range of choices we have. But for now, just think about wide, medium, close up, framing. But next time you watch a movie or a TV show, just like your brain will start noticing these things as you're watching them. Any last questions that you have about shots? Okay, so your thing to do for tomorrow is to come up with a storyboard of your film. So a storyboard is just images, shots, pictures, either hand-drawn or with your phone, just to give me a rough draft of what your film might look like. So you don't have to worry about editing it or music. It's just about the images and what order the images are. And so I'm hoping if we can to come up with your storyboards for tomorrow so that at the beginning of class we can talk about them and look at them together. Some of my students are really against storyboarding because maybe they just like to shoot and get right to it. But I think it's a useful exercise. So do your best to work on that. Does that make sense for tomorrow? Is that cool? Okay. So we're gonna, I just want to briefly check in with, I guess, Kate and Owen, and then individually, and then Evan, and then Eva. We'll talk in tomorrow after class or at the end of class. So Evan, you can jet unless you have any last questions, Evan. You good? Okay, awesome. Well, good luck on your storyboard, Evan. And then Kate, do you want to talk first, and then Owen just hang out like. I'll be with you in a little bit, okay? So, Kate, do you have images in your head now that we talked about images and shots that you want for your film?
Yeah, I can picture it.
Cool. What are some images that you're thinking about?
Maybe, yeah, I can start out with just, actually, no. Maybe the huge putting green or something, and I'm kind of just putting or looking down, about to putt, and just from there, or maybe for the close-ups, I can just show the putter head swinging back and through, and then if like the ball misses the hole, the ball like rolls by the hole, like where it's really up there, or if it rolls around and goes in or something.
Right. I can hear your brain's already thinking cinematically. That's just great. Yeah, you start with like a wide shot to show how far you're from the hole, right? And that's important because the audience needs to show you like what the challenge is, right? That it's like far or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have a close-up shot of the
Yeah.
head.
Not in any order, or not that order, but like
right.
Just some examples.
And yeah, you can play around with it, like you just take a lot of shots that you think are important, and then you can also move the order around. And then I like the idea that you're going to do a close-up of the putter hitting the ball, and then the ball going into the cup or missing the cup. Those are good shots. There's one shot that I think maybe you're thinking of, but I just want to draw attention is the face, like the close-up or the medium shot, because if you want the audience to feel the frustration or the happiness of getting the ball in, you're gonna need that close up, probably, or a medium shot, depending.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know, like even if you go on YouTube and you like find golf videos, like people, I mean, usually when you're watching golf on TV, like when they do it televised, it's almost all wide shots, right?
Yeah.
The cameras are just sitting there watching the golfer hit the ball.
Or it shows their whole body swinging or something, yeah.
Right. And then they have a camera, because like when the ball goes on a drive, they have to follow the ball in the air.
Yeah.
What do they do for that? Do they have like
they have this, I don't know, it's like Skype, or it's something that tracks the ball and it draws a line where it goes. Yeah.
Because that's really hard to have a camera follow a golf ball in the air.
Yeah.
That's not.
They have this cool technology.
I think they just use a drone.
They use a drone? Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brother's really good with drones too, so I don't know if You want to tap into that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think the other thing is, you can think about the literal, like, how do I capture golf? But I encourage you to think outside the box, like, use images that may like represent, like, some of the films we saw, the images sort of represent a feeling, or just like, something that close just on the neck or just a hand, just images to kind of capture the feeling and the emotion.
Yeah.
So think big, or think, just try lots of different things.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have any questions?
No.
So then, if you're going to do the storyboard, I would just put them like in a Word document, and just, or you can just like take the pictures and just put them in attachments to an email, and then we can look at them tomorrow in class.
Okay. Oh, should I email it to you tonight or tomorrow?
Just before the class, so that
Okay.
after class I can just quickly open it and we can talk about it in class.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, Kate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.
All right, Owen. So did your mind start thinking about images for your film?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I already shot like one of my opening scenes like during that time.
Oh, cool. What did you do?
Like right as like the ball goes off of the club, I'm gonna like have a slow motion right as it hits, and then I'm just gonna like stop it in midair.
Oh.
Like the shot like right as it comes off the ball, off the club.
That's cool. So it's a golf club hitting a ball, slow motion, and then freeze?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what are you trying to achieve with that? Like, what do you want the audience to feel from that?
Like excited, kind of.
Yeah. Like the feeling of like the slow motion you feel like when you're in the hit.
Yeah.
Cool. What other shots are you thinking about?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna do mostly wide shots. Because it's gonna probably be hard to like do it without doing wide shots.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
describe like, well, give me a trick and then we can talk about it. Like, which trick are you thinking? The golf one or the basketball one, or?
Yeah, I was thinking like I was going to like hit a tennis ball on a wall, and there's like one of those pool rings on the wall. Then it has to go through that one, and then it'll bounce off into another one.
Yeah. So.
Probably gonna have to be a wide angle.
Sorry, say that again. Do you have a tripod?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what kind of camera are you using? You said your SD card, so.
I'm using my drone, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. So have you ever done that before? Do the drone to do a wide shot of something like you're doing, like that tennis ball trick?
It's pretty easy for my drone to do wide shots, actually.
Cool.
That's like the one thing that it like automatically does.
Great. I would encourage you to think, definitely try to capture in the wide, and then think, well, could you use other shots, a close up of,
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily have to film it like at the time, right? Like you could capture the whole thing in a wide, and then you can kind of just, fake do some close-ups or medium shots to kind of create more excitement, right? In the audience.
Yeah,
If you
I'm probably gonna fake a few things, actually.
What's that?
I'm probably gonna fake a few things.
But obviously the wide shot's the most impressive because you can't fake a wide shot, right? Like, you can, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
So you're gonna shoot, are you gonna do any close-ups of your face or medium shots of your face?
I might. I don't know.
Yeah, like I was telling Kate, those can help an audience emotionally connect to your film better. Not always, but it can.
Yeah.
So I would think about it. Cool. Anything else? Any other shots you're thinking about?
No.
Are there like videos that you've seen that do this well? Like you're like, oh yeah, on YouTube there's like a guy who does trick shots and
Yeah.
who's that?
Well, there are like 1,000 different people. I think probably the biggest known one is Dude Perfect.
Would you mind if we watch one together?
Sure.
So Dude.
I could share my screen because I have the page up right now. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Actually, let me just.
Card throwing trick shots. Here's his channel.
Yeah, I found it now.
Okay. Here, let me make you a co-host, and then you can share yours. You know it better than I do.
Yep.
Co-host. Okay, go for it.
All right. Do you hear this?
We're Dude Perfect. Welcome to Plunger Trick Shots.
Oh, they got some nice graphics there.
This is the swinging sticker.
Oh. Why? Yeah, they are using a lot of wide. The POV shot. Oh my God. Who's he running? Is he oh, it's animation. Oh, nice motion. Oh my God. Did they show outtakes? Medium shot. Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That's not a cheat too. They're not cheating.
Not so bad. Such enough. Got the plunge, got the target. You're probably thinking to yourself, okay, that's probably pretty good. There's some stop. Wow, you're going to keep going? Okay, seems ambitious. Surely you're going to stop now. And you'd be correct. Here we go. This is the trip flip plunge. This is the trip flip plunge. Yeah? Yes, it is.
Wow. Moving graphics. They're so advanced too. Subscribers. Oh my God, 22 million?
Customized bow plungers?
Customized what? So they clearly have some money. Are they making their money from these videos?
Oh no.
You see how they're using different shots for this one? They went wide, medium. Oh, nice, nice. That's a fashion shot. On a wide.
And they just use a one wheel to film it.
Yeah, there's like 3 cameras running at the same time. At least. Oh, the bloopers. You know they're a lot more than that. That's nice. Thank you for sharing that. So
Welcome.
Dude Perfect. And they come up with those videos every week or something?
It takes them like 2 weeks to do one.
Well, that's a lot of work. I mean, that's 2 minutes. That's like 3 minutes long, but that's like, you must have a lot of work.
Because they have a lot of fails.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we saw probably like 5% of what their failures were.
Yeah.
So
And they even broke the window of their golf cart. It's like, seriously, people, you do not throw plungers at golf carts.
Yeah.
Or anything.
TVs too. So question, did you want your video to feel like that? Like, is that the kind of...
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So what did you notice when you watched it again? Like, that applies to your film. Like, what are some things that you liked that they did?
Yeah, like, just like what they did, like, doing it where, like, it's where, like, they will, like, slow it down in the middle of the thing for a few seconds.
Yeah. And they kind of build, I mean, the way they do the things is they start simple, right? And they build towards the harder and harder ones.
Yeah.
The last ones are like really difficult.
Yeah.
And then they're also like, for the really hard ones, they set it up, right? Like the one where he does the flip and then he throws it. Like they show you how far it is, right? With a wide shot. So, you know, he's like really far away. And then they do like a medium shot of him looking at it so you can see his face and like getting ready. And then they like follow him while he flips. I don't have to rewatch it, but there's at least 4 different camera angles in that one.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I mean, if you're by yourself doing this with just a drone, it'll be harder to do it, right? Because he's got a camera crew like doing all that stuff.
Also known as their other buddies on one wheels.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, if you watch again, I'm sure you can say, oh, there's someone there and there's someone over there. Do you have anybody to help you, or?
I should probably get my dad to do it. Maybe my mom.
Cool. Well, tomorrow we'll be talking about production, and you have a tripod, so that's helpful. You could actually set the tripod up, and you've got a drone. You could do the drone doing the wide angle, and then you could have the tripod doing a medium shot or something, you know.
Yeah.
And then if you had your mom or dad, they could do the follow shot, so they can actually follow you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be prepared to do a lot of shots, because those are hard things, right? If the stunt is hard, it's going to take you a lot of tries.
Yeah.
Cool. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing this video. Any questions you have, or?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, good luck. I mean, storyboarding, I think might be helpful for you to do this, because if you just take pictures of the angles, then at least I'll have a better sense, and you'll have a better sense of like how it'll look before you shoot. But it's up to you, man.
Got it.
All right. Thanks, Owen. Good luck.
Welcome. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.